Hey everyone, I'm MondayToYT. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to start with Hammer Editor. This can be used to make mini games with Valve, such as CSGO for example, or Team Fortress 2, stuff like that. So we're going to get started by going to Library, and to download it, click on Games right here and activate Tools. So now you have access to a lot of developing things for games. So right here you're gonna, I'm gonna be using this to make a CSGO map, for example. So to begin, just click Counter-Strike Global Offensive SDK and download it. Okay, so once it has loaded up, it should take no more than a minute. Go ahead and click Hammer World Editor. So once it starts loading up, we will be able to start editing. So it'll load you up to a screen like this. It looks intimidating, I know. Don't worry though. Click on File and click on New. This will immediately put you in a quad screen view. This would be your main view. The top right would be top down. This would be x-axis from the left, and this would be x-axis from the front. So to start, we can start by making a cube. To do that, you would select a cube here. To make other shapes, you can go and to your right here, click on block, and that would open up your drop-down menu. You can do arch, block, cylinder, but we can just start off with a block. So we can start off by making it a top-down view. You want it to be the height more than 190, so I'm going to make it 256 by 256. Here, in the other menus, you can see that it has created this as well, so I'm going to make it a bit taller. And here as well, just like so. Here, if you press Z, you'll go into this no clip sort of mode. So if we are happy with our cube, we can go and press Enter, and it'll create it. Ignore the pills here sign, that's just the default texture for any object. We can change that later, but for now we'll just keep it. Next, so if we want this to be our whole map, we can just click the select tool, click right here, and make hollow. Negative 5 or 4, whatever you please. This will be the thickness of your walls if it's going to be hollow. So the lower the number, the thinner it is. I recommend something like that. So we can now no-clip inside of it, so now we have a view of the inside. So to make a spawning point for either team, go ahead and click the entity here, and click it, and just click where you want to put it. Don't put it too close to a wall or in the floor, because then it won't work. Put it somewhere above, or even you can put it in midair, and then it will work perfectly. You can see the default spawning is for a terrorist. If you select and then double click, you can see this menu pop up. Here you can do a lot of things, and this is actually one of the most common menus that you will ever use, is for the entity menu. So first of all, if you want to change it to counter-terrorist, simply delete right here terrorist and make it counter-terrorist. Perfect. Okay, and click apply. There you go. Now it's a counter-terrorist. Okay. Next, we'll learn how to apply textures onto items. So if you go right here, this is the face editor, right? And then you can just select your texture by clicking browse, and you have every single texture in the game right here. We can do whatever texture we want. I can do a brick texture just to show, right? And by clicking the face where you want to be, if I want to select multiple faces, press Control, and by selecting the faces you want the texture to be applied, just like so, click apply. Sorry, you have to select it if it's already not applied. Click apply. There you go. And now your inside walls are brick. The outside ones are not, but that's alright. Next, what we can do is add a lamp. If you are just gonna have a room and that's it, you won't need a lamp because walls are auto-illuminated. But if I do still recommend one, so add an entity, double click in select mode, and right here click light. Type in light. Okay, and click apply. There you go. You can see the little light bulb, and in this bottom right, we can just move our light bulb to. I recommend the center of your whole world. it'll just have nice. If your world is quite large, you might want to have multiple. So I would recommend having one of these for every 4 or 5 meters because that's just how much light they give off. And right now what we're going to learn is has to do a lot with lamps. Is how to make static props. So when I just started, I didn't know that you can have props that are already from the game. I thought you had to make them, and that was torturous. But to my pleasant surprise, you can actually take all the props, every single item that you might see in CSGO and other maps, you can just go ahead and put it down. So click Entity again, put it down. As usual, it's the terrorist, that's the default. Double click, and here you're going to delete this and type in prop underscore static. There you go, click apply. It turned into this little red cube, don't worry about that. Right here, you're gonna see world model. This is important. If you double click that, you can now see every single possible prop. So these are the categories. So let's say we want something from, let's just say furniture, right? We want some furniture. So we select the furniture category, and right down here you can see every single possible furniture you can put down. There are a lot of stuff, so some are just specifically from each map, so from the office map you can get like tables, chairs, keyboards, whatever. Plants are just indoor plants, there are also outdoor plants, that would be greenery. You can get skyboxes as well, just trailers, windows, anything you really want, right? You can also have weapons, tools, whatever, shells as well. Like you have every single possible thing from in-game. We can just put down that, so covered. And to move it again, just go to whichever menu you want and move it. You might notice that each object snaps to the grid. If you want it to snap tighter to the grid, to make the grid smaller, simply press this button in your top left corner right here. Smaller grid. This will make the grid smaller for every menu. This is, I'm pretty sure, the smallest. So now you can move it very incrementally, almost without clipping. So that's pretty much the basics, and if these static props do not light up, if they render in black, that means they're not lit up properly, so add lamps. Now if you want to play your map, you can go ahead and press F9. This will ask you to save your file. You can see it's in the VMF. Just select to save it anywhere. I'll save it on my desktop. We'll call it map. Okay. Once we have saved our project, you can see the configuration for the render. So just to begin, if this is your first render and you just want to see how it sort of looks, click fast. But if you want to see with good graphics and like when you're pretty much done, you may want to click full complete HDR only. But we'll click fast for now. You can, and then click the bsp.exe game. That was disabled for me because I was testing something out, but it should definitely be selected for you. If it's not, just make sure all of these boxes here are selected, and go and click go right here. You will see this menu right here, and it will tell you to, and it'll tell you how it's loading up your map and all that stuff. And CSGO should load in quickly, just like so. We are currently in CSGO. If your render does not work, if the console is displaying some red text saying something, chances are you have a leak. That means the player can exit your map and fall into the void. So if you're just working on a flat plane, you may want to ensure that you have like good walls and that the player can't escape. So right here you can choose your team. I have counter-terrorist. If you can't do terrorist because I didn't put down a terrorist spawn point. And this is our little room. You can see this is the illumination from the lamp. This is our little cupboard that we put down. You can shoot. You can basically play the game how it's meant to. Everything has its own material. What I find is very nice is that whichever texture you put down, it detects the texture and it's a separate sound. So if you have like wood, it'll make a wood sound. Brick, you'll have a brick sound. So we can close that now once we are happy with it. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know to start map making. So we can start a new map, and we can just now combine everything that we have learned. So how about we do a flat base now? So we do it as a sort of big base, right? And you can see the base if we press Z on this menu. If it's going to be laggy after you come back from your render, don't worry, that's normal, but it shouldn't last more than a minute or so. So that's our little base. We can make it a bit thinner, of course, So now it's just a plane. You can press enter. It'll be a brick because that's the texture I've selected here. It's this little red tint just because I've selected. It's not actually what the texture is going to look like. Now we can go through some tools that are very useful for map making. So I'm going to go ahead and make a cube. Won't make it that wide, just an actual cube. There you go. So we made a cube, and now let's say I want to cut it. Let's say I want to make the cube a more abstract shape. So I select this little cut menu right here, and in any of these 4 windows, you can just drag a line across. Now the white is going to be the part that stays, and the red is going to be the part that gets deleted. So let's say, there you go. So just press enter. There you go. You're done. So if you want to change how your cut looks, right? So let's say, like you selected half of this, right? So right now it's going to be both. Right now it's going to be 2 objects. You can keep clicking this until it's something you like. So let's say that's going to be the bottom one is left, the top one is left, and now both will be left as 2 separate objects. There you go. This is a very useful item to make stairs, for example. These items I wouldn't really touch until like you got quite advanced. You can do them in tutorials in the future. This one is Polygon Build. If you are familiar with any other 3D software, like Blender for example, you'll be familiar with this as well. So you can just drag out polygons and then just make it however you like it. I don't recommend this tool too often because it can make it a bit laggier. It's a bit heavy. But yeah, that's the polygon tool. For entities, I showed you this terrace, counter terrace, spawn points, and static props and lights. There are many other things, but just for a simple map, I wouldn't really touch on them, just for now. Yeah, and that's pretty much all you need to know for making something like this. It's very simple, and some things I found difficult, and I couldn't see anywhere explained, is actually how you rotate objects. So, like, if we select one here, how you rotate this object is just click it right here, and then the borders should be empty circles, and then you can just rotate it all you want. So that's a little tip that I found, and I realized that a lot of new people to this program aren't familiar with that, actually. I guess it's not intuitive, but yeah. That's pretty much everything you need to know for this program. So thanks for joining me, guys. Hope you understood something. I might make a second video to explain some more difficult aspects of this program. But anyway, if you have any questions, leave them in the description. In the comments. And thanks for watching.